Hook Resets and Leo Leon, pretty veteran players. And with the goalie, that's Moffin. Moffin has been really wanting to show their stuff. Of course, has subbed in for teams like the Bozo Bunch in the past, but in the starter slot now has some good performances, but not quite enough to give Return to Form the victory.
That's right, and we're going to see some interesting comps here on Atlas Lab for game number 1. Moth and Koei opting for the Finny, which, of course, Monumentalist Missile Prop start will make this character a beast, assuming that they pick Monumentalist. And sure enough, strike shot Monumentalist on Moth and Koei. So definitely a player to look out for this match. And, you know, for those of you who aren't familiar, Awayuki is actually none other than Soren, I believe. So keep that in mind. We're going to be referring to him as that instead of the Vtuber counterpart.
Yep. Already 2 barriers taken by Return to Form. They're looking quite good here as Leo Leon's getting in there. Hook resets. Manu now start as the core speed's picking up as well. The creation's coming in. Leo Leon taking a lot of damage. Potentially a kill target, but so is NXED. The damage start is creation based, but it's still a damage start, it feels like, as even the Fool's getting in on the action. Zoro in a lot of trouble. NXED almost swept away. The healing coming through, but Leo Leon finds the hit stun and secures the first goal for Return to Form.
That's right. Zentaro's able to have so many hitboxes being out, and this time it's just too much for the Fool right now. Sitting here looking, trying to find something. Hook reset's gonna have no energy. Might take a little bit of damage off the start, but a quick barrier for the side of EKC to make things difficult for this team.
Yeah, speak forward. So one interesting thing in particular in this matchup is that Soren is the biggest Now fan in the world, possibly. Really thinks the pick is good. Look at that Arenado, though. Forget about what I'm talking about. Soren, it's all Hook resets right now in the midfield. Looking for a scoring attempt all by himself. Shrinks the core just enough, and that's the second goal for Return to Form.
That's right, and I think we're going to see explosive energy out of both these teams. I mean, Missile Prop, able to do a lot. Of course, not that much on maybe a character like Rasmus on this map, but we're going to see that playing into the later game when a lot more damage gets taken.
Yeah, NXZD on the dribbling plays, and I'm really looking at NXZD Rasmus here. Not a pick that NXZD usually picks, right? Usually pick something like the Juliet or the Zentaro. On the Rasmus here, trying to find the core control scoring pressure, but so far it has not been as effective, it feels like.
That's right, a little bit more damage, and Moff and Koei sitting here with an empty net. No barriers left to be able to help out. Soren dribbling up top. Finny trying to burn all these abilities, just trying to keep things alive. The pass to NXED knocked away by the Bewitching Beam, and there comes the Maelstrom. Leon has core flip. Might be able to use it to take this last barrier. Not quite getting there just yet. The center is broken, though, and NXED does have that secondary out. Ooh, and a nice flip. Finds the angle to take that bottom barrier. Now things are even for both these teams. RTF looking, trying to get it forward. Does get it past. Not quite yet. Will be saved away. Leo Leon the hook. Back to Leo Leon. The shot blocked away by the Now primary. And Leo Leon, 500, stuffing it through. Able to find it through the top corner. And this is just the masterclass out of this Zentaro.
Yeah, Leo Leon has been solid on scoring plays, putting on the damage pressure as well. And the hitbox of that blink was enough there. Now, the first pick of this draft. Could opt for some spark scaling here. Could opt for the 1-2 punch. A lot of choices available. Goes for the Egoist instead, putting a lot of value in the Energy Awakening here. Timeless Creator also an option, but Rapid Fire opted for by Soren. And with the combination of Egoist and Chrono Boost for the side of Return to Form, I think they'll really be outpacing the side of Era's Kitten Club in this next point.
That's right. That's a lot of damage. Size being absolutely massive on the Rasmus. We're going to have to see if they're able to take advantage of that. NXED, a player that can pilot the striker so well. We'll have to see and be on the lookout for that. RTF is looking strong, though. Up 1-0 in the set with one barrier down already. NXED taking some damage. The ult coming out from Moff and Koei is so big, able to get that pass and take that bottom barrier. Resets. Trying to win this strike war. Leon does pick up the orb, get a little bit more energy, and is getting closer and closer to a core flip. The more and more the damage comes out. Soren with a good evade, not able to take enough, and now has no energy. Has to deal with the Leon onslaught. Able to heal up a little bit. We are seeing EKC struggling against this damage. And there the ult comes out. The second barrier will be taken. But Leon does have the core flip. It has the abilities to make this work. Just trying to find this core in this bottom corner. NXDD fishing, looking for something. Especially with that hook. Leon taking good damage. NXDD trying to get a 1v1 versus Moff Kowi. But the RTF defense is just so strong. There's the flip delayed into the bottom corner. Leon with yet another goal.
Leo's been converting so well, and the same cannot be said about Air's Kitten Club so far. They've been struggling to start the offense. Moffin has been solid, and hook resets has always been interrupting them here. And even with NXDD working on a flip, that's one barrier taken, the wrong barrier, two barriers taken, flip in front of the net. Almost saved by Moffin, but it will go in. NXDD breaking the trend, finding a goal for Air's Kitten Club.
That's right, and that's that explosive energy we were talking about. Able to take a goal in 8 seconds. And that's just the danger of all of these NASL teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential in the scoring when the passing plays are solid. And look at that. That's an unformed NATO from hook resets, finding the barrier there. Zoro choosing not to burn the energy. The Fool looking a little bit like a fool in that interaction, but who's the fool now? 2 barriers down, return to form, have an open net, and maybe Air's Kitten Club in a really good spot.
That's right, and this is so difficult. There's the ult coming out, gets the pass to Leon. On such low HP, though, uses that passive strike to try to survive. And look at that, a beautiful KO from the Maelstrom. Turns the power play in favor of return to form. Hook resets now. Tasked with getting it past the 2 core flips, or at least burning. As we will see NXDD come back up in 1 second here. Leon is staggered. And so is hook resets, barely surviving on 1 HP. The strike shot from Katsuna taking this out. And now a power play for the side of EKC. We'll have to see if Leon is able to take that top barrier. Not quite yet. Able to 1v2 though. Gets the top barrier, looking for the flip. The self pass blocked away by Katsuna. And the core off the bottom angle. NXDD with a gorgeous redirect. Able to take that.
I was so impressed by how Leon almost kept that point alive. In the end, though, after the chaotic flip in the center, NXDD, like you said, manages to secure it. And that's the power of the Rasmus. The core speed in those scary situations really comes through. The reach of the pendulum swing is a significant scoring tool to be looked at. And of course, the healing from the Fool here on the Atlas is really saving Air's Kitten Club in a lot of these scary damage situations. But we've seen that time and time again. There's a whole cluster on the top side. Leon gets like a passive strike or one last hit, and the top barrier is taken. And return to form, if they can convert the second barrier, they're in a good spot.
That's right, and a lot of damage coming out from the Fool here. Hook resets, trying to keep it in this corner. NXDD does have the flip, able to stuff it through with the pendulum swing, and there's the ult coming out from Moff Kowi. Able to save it away, the flip, the pass. Blocked away by Leon, and look at this. NXDD is a beast right now. That big fish putting in work, striking it through the bottom corner, and now EKC ties this game up 1-1.
Yeah, with the additional size, like you said, that strike war looking good for NXDD. Now has a chance to pick up all manner of awakenings. Could go for the speed, could go for the unstoppable. Importantly, that awakening makes Finny's life a little bit miserable when trying to play against the Brawler. Can't really hit stun with the primary. Goes for the Super Surge, denies it away from Centauro. Explosive entrance still available, but Super Surge will do a little bit for the damage pressure as well. My eyes are more on the team player, though. Team player with your forward, trying to find those passing plays could be huge here, especially when EKC are the ones with core control most of the time.
Oh, 100%. And we're going to see it's going to be very scary, especially on a Now. We see the Now, the Monumentalist, the Rapid Fire, truly turning into a support player. And it's just going to help NXDD. And I mean, clearly you can see what NXDD has been doing for this team right now, able to take barrier after barrier and score goal after goal in this last set. So NXDD, a force to look out for. A phrase that is very common to hear when watching these NASL casts.
Yeah, that guy just gets in there. If he's on the Juliet, he's the most legendary. But right now, this Rasmus performance is nothing to scoff at either. Almost getting the goal all by himself. Looking for the pendulum swing. Another hit by Soren. Not quite enough as the core drifts back. Looking for a passing play now. NXDD in position to score. Triple take doing a lot of work. And look at Leon, who's taking so much chip damage.
That's right. Almost dead. And NXDD gets it done. The 1 versus 2 in the net, just burning every ability at the same time. It's so hard when you don't have creations that can just sit in front of the net and block it. And I feel like right now, the only thing that could take NXZD down is a Dubu wall or just getting him off the pitch.
Yeah, and thanks to the Atlas pick and thanks to the Fool being so on point, it's hard to put damage on the NXCD. That guy seems to be immortal here, while Hookery and Leon, they don't have such insurance with the double healing on the side of EKC. They're sitting pretty, but the defense does fall apart for one time. A good offensive play by Hookery and Leon, but if EKC can find a KO here, they could turn this one completely around.
That's right. Good reactions from the Fool. Able to stop it. The core flip blocked away, this time by NXDD. The flip coming out from Muffin. Looking for the pass up to Hook. Trying to stuff this in the corner. The secondary comes out from Atlas, and Leo Leon is off the map.
Yeah, hit into the back of the goal by the Expanse, the creation, just completely taking out Centauro there as NXCD plays the bottom side. The unstoppable pickle from Muffin does make it easier to play versus Rasmus, but this barrier is going to be hard to keep up if the offense keeps up for Aris Kitten Club.
That's right, and a good use of the strike shot by Muffin to try to keep this goal alive. You have one barrier left, and you desperately need to maintain this pressure on the side, and NXCD just gets it done. Able to find that last barrier. The core moving so fast, almost finds the angle once again. Soren looking for the pass up. Hook resets, able to clear it away, but it's a scary situation. Between a rock and a hard place right now. Leon tries to find the stuff. The flip into the pass. NXCD gets it. And a gorgeous pass off the back of the Fool will secure yet another point for EKC, and this team is looking dominant.
Yeah, I really like the way that the Fool is playing. Missile Prop is one of the most comfy awakenings on Atlas. That's probably the best way to describe it. It gives you so much more presence in the midfield, and look at the Fool stepping up, using the primary to find the barrier, and of course on the defense as well, losing one barrier here, but it's been solid in general. Okay, I'm just caster cursing at this point, Tech. Take it over.
That's right. Leon celebrating in the corner after the punishment the Fool gave him prior, and a gorgeous core flip by NXCD gets yet another barrier. Pendulum swing to keep his core alive, and core control is the name of the game for NXCD right now. And staying alive is the name of the game for Soren, almost taken off the map, trying to live. The flip into the bottom, saved away. But Soren on such low HP. We see NXCD flying up. Hook resets, has the flip, but is on such low HP. Thankfully able to survive long enough. Leon into the Maelstrom. The dash not working out. NXDD just timing it, forcing the flip out of Muffin. And we do see a KO onto Soren. The Bewitching Beam and Leo able to get that one through. And Return to Form gets their first point of this set, but we'll have to see if EKC is going to close this one out 3-1.
They do have a flip available. Meters low on everyone except for Hook resets. Big opportunity to find a big flip here, but one barrier will get taken with that awkward shot in the middle. And Return to Form not starting off too great, especially as NXCD and Soren push up. But Leon looking for a little bit of Leo magic right now. Has the Egoist, right? Trying to build up this flip, but is taking a lot of damage in the process.
That's right. And the explosive entrance not dealing as much damage to heal it back. Of course, slick kicks on the board for him, so he will be moving fast when he hits the core, but he surely is taking a lot of damage. But if you want to speak about taking damage, Soren off the pitch. Hook resets on such low HP. Muffin to pass up to Hook, just slightly off. The Fool trying to keep things alive. NXDD is on such low HP, but gets rewarded being in the right place at the right time. And a beautiful save there from the Fool. As Hook resets is taken off the map, NXDD has the core flip. The flip up, blocked away by the slice of dice from Leo. The flip goes too far, caught by NXDD. And that center makes things so difficult, ends up missing the shot. It was surely a secure gold for EKC. Muffin Kawi now just has to get it up. Leon has to stay alive, and a beautiful Bewitching Beam from Hook reset secures that goal, evening things up 2-2.
Again, really aware by Hook resets too, right? It's a team player now looking for the pass to NXZD, so it just completely reads that angle that normally wouldn't have been gone for. EKC really trying to abuse the core speed there, and Hook resets was on top of it. But it's a new point. It's still 2 points in the favor of EKC, even though it's 2-2, and with two barriers already down, they're looking really good here. And whoa, the Fool walks up enough. That primary covers the entire midsection of the goal and secures it.
Saya, I thought quick strikes were back in the game. That's what I think I just saw from NXZD. So many strike war wins, and ultimately the goalie credited with the goal. How many Atlas goals do you see? on
At least
defense.
two. At least two. In this game, at least. That's crazy. As Spark of Agility's picked up as well, giving the Fool so much more ability to keep up. But I'm scared of that Fighter Flight because that gives Leo Leon so much more ability to control the game. Of course, Perfect Form left on the board. But Fighter Flight just gives him so much mobility to make those solo plays we saw earlier in the game.
That's right. The Fool has his work cut out for him this time. And then we're going to see a Chrono Boost era paired with Fighter Flight, Explosive Entrance, Egoist, Zentaro. Yeah, this is about to be fast. And I think EKC notices this and is just going to try to do as much damage as possible to Leo Leon, because that's the only way to really survive against this team. And look at the pressure from EKC right now. Somehow, some way, Return to Form is able to get out of it. But Leo Leon just trying to stay alive, dashing around the map. You'll never see him in the same spot. And a gorgeous ult from Muffin. We'll let them survive a little bit longer, but with one barrier, surely it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, speaking of Awakenings too, other Awakenings that were important here is double size for NXED and triple spark for the Fool. So the power is quite immense here. The goalie, the astral projections from Atlas are doing quite a number to the health bars of Return to Form here. And NXED is so massive that's so hard to navigate around him in the midfield. A KO found. The big finish doing just enough to keep it away, but not enough to let Muffin get there in time. EKC 2 goals away.
Yeah, 2 goals away from an easy 1-0 in this series, or maybe not too easy. We'll have to see if RTF is able to answer back against these Awakenings, but surely that last draft went in total favor of EKC. Here's the flip coming out from Soren, able to get one, but not the second. A scary clear away from hook resets, but does keep that barrier alive. Playing with geometry here, and Leo Leon, so much damage, almost dying off the hook. And look how far forward this team is, trying to survive as Leo Leon stuck in this corner. Soren able to save it. The Maelstrom not doing enough, and NXDD just needs the Strike War win, and he is large and in charge.
He is so massive. Double size on Rasmus. Not even Rasmus, just any character, giving him the ability to react to that Strike War so easily in the midfield. Muffin trying to find some offense off of that, but was unable to because NXDD was just standing there.
That's right. I mean, this is almost just a raid boss comp for NXDD. We have the team player passes from Soren, and the Fool just does an ungodly amount of damage. Things are looking rough for RTF as they're 1 point away from losing this first match. Go break that center barrier. A nice save. I'm loving the collaboration on the defense for EKC. The Fool pushing up far. Soren looking for something. It's the 1v1. That's a just slight miss space there from NXED to get that second barrier. And a nice play. Will we see it? We sure will. Hook resets. Able to get that core flip almost in the net. Even a perfect reaction time wouldn't be able to save that one.
Yeah, and that was brilliant from Muffin, getting across the map enough to place down the big finish, setting up hook resets for a flip like that. That's what Return to Form need, but it's going to be hard to replicate that performance when Leo Leon is taking so much damage. The Fool trying to strike shot down Leo Leon's health bar. If that primary hit, that guy would have been staggered by now, but Leo Leon surviving is in there, finds a strike, past the Fool, and suddenly Return to Form might be reverse sweeping this set.
Yeah, Return to Form is just blitzing the defense of EKC, and doesn't seem like there's much they can do about it. Super low energy on the side of EKC. Soren, of course, having the most there, but not too much to work with, as now NXED is the one taking the damage. Will be healed back up shortly as one barrier falls. Leo Leon has it where he wants it in this corner. Will he have enough cooldowns to get it through? Not quite yet. NXED with that Death's Touch, able to keep control of this core. But the clears are perfect right now from RTF. It's Muffin up to Leo. Hook resets, trying to intercept this pass. Needs to get it up to Leo Leon. This is their only chance they have to take this set. Leo Leon stuffs it through. The core flip kills the goalie. And somehow, some way, Return to Form claws their way back and evens up the game 2-2.
3 clutch points in a row. The last 2 being incredibly impactful core flips. Now with the first pick available here for hook resets, has the option of so many different Awakenings. Might want to deny the Rampage here because NXED is getting ridiculously massive, and that is indeed what is picked up. And later on in the draft, that Catalyst is probably going to be denied by Ares Kitten Club. Yep, NXCD makes sure the Catalyst Egoist doesn't fall to Leo Leon. And Primetime Rapid Fire does mean a ton of ability uptime, Hotshot as well. And despite the win, I think because of the denies that were made, I'm really liking EKC's draft still.
Me too. Hotshot is big, and Catalyst, of course, a massive deny from Leo. That being said, does manage to pick up Stagger Swagger, so will be even faster. And an instant double barrier from NXZD almost wins that strike war yet again. The Maelstrom able to clear things out, and that's a scary ability from Muffin. Clearly, they know what they're doing, as NXZD now has the abilities, has the core in the corner. Great usage of that ult from Muffin Koei. But things are scary because NXZD is massive and is building energy quick. There's the core flip all the way up, but the core flip burned out. Unfortunate timing there. Somehow, this defense is ridiculous from Return to Form.
Hook resets and Moffin both with some incredible saves. Moffin finds the tank on the primary from Soren. Somehow, I thought he was behind the core, but he manages to tank it instead. And that's a goalie KO from Hook resets with the NATO. The Monu NATO coming in clutch as Hook resets has flip available, has the core, no abilities from Soren to cover the cross. And what an incredible defensive point from Return to Form.
An absolute masterclass from Return to Form. That is what Omega Strikers should look like. Beautiful passing and all of the bait dribbles. Absolutely gorgeous from this team. A team that we thought was potentially being counted out is looking much closer to getting their first win in this week 3 here. But EKC is not out just yet. We've seen the power that this team is able to have and the damage that they're able to put out. But right now, Return to Form is just so fast.
Yeah, they're really playing the corner here, looking for the passing plays on the bottom side too. And before, it felt like Ares Kitten Club had the tempo, had the lead in terms of team speed. But right now, it feels like they're slowing down. It feels like Moffin and Hook are playing so well on the defense, but a cross-map strike shot from the Fool snipes out the barrier and turns the game right around.
That's right, and now you just have to get it to NXZD. You have this barrier left. The self-dribble, looking for the bottom, almost able to stuff it through, and does manage to get it. The pendulum swing not needed as NXZD able to even this game up 1-1 in this set 5 here. Return to Form has to be feeling the pressure. You want to be up 1-0, especially against an experienced team like Ares Kitten Club. There's the core flip, able to get one. The flip coming out from the Fool. Able to survive that ultimate ability, which is huge. Hook resets, getting stuffed away now. NXZD gets all of this core control. And there's so many abilities. In the corner is not the place you want to be if you Return to Form right now. You want to be flying wide and you want to be flying fast as Leon looking to stuff it through. Not able to get the second goal barrier.
It's a scary spot here. Corner. NXZD pushing forward. Like, it's so scary for Moffin, right? Unstoppable does a lot. But if you walk a little too far, that's a flip in your face. That's a KO foul. Wait, that's huge. Moffin had full meter there. That is a flip gone from the next round. That is a huge swing in the energy economy in the favor of EKC after scoring.
That is so massive. And we'll have to see double barrier immediately off the bat. The core is moving so quick. And EKC is looking strong, 1 point away from taking map number 1. And there it is. Soren able to find the strike war win through the Maelstrom. EKC securing that one, will not be choking this lead. But a beautiful performance coming out from Return to Form.
Yeah, that game has me believing in Return to Form, especially in this series, because Hook resets in particular, but Leo Leon and Moffin as well were really precise with the strikes, had amazing defensive plays out of the corner, and even though the builds from the Fool and NXZD were overwhelming, they managed to figure out a way to make a comeback a little bit. So EKC with a solid win, but I think the series will continue to be close.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we see 251 redirects coming out from Soren, such an impactful player in that game. Of course, now able to just control the core like almost no other in this game with all these abilities. Huge performance, and these forwards and midfielders are definitely worth looking out for. NXZD and Soren, the combo is just terrifying to go up against. So we'll have to see how going into this next map, if things are going to change, And how are they going to change? I mean, that seemed pretty close for game number 1.
Yeah, and the next map's a little interesting. Gates of Obscura, not a map we see too commonly, right? That is something that will be a little bit different for a lot of the teams. Gates of Obscura, the goalies that are strong are different as well. Atlas continues to be good, but in general, the creation goalies will be the ones being looked at. And yeah, it's going to be interesting.
100%. I mean, we saw EKC able to keep that core in the corner so frequently in that last map. And, you know, Gates is a map that's scary like that. If you get that core in the corner, chances are you're losing both of your barriers, as the window to clear it out is so narrow in that center, of course, unlike a map like Atlas's Lab, right? Where you have them spaced out. You're able to get the sad boys angle around the corner, which we saw a few times. The clears, which of course, you know, we saw in the earlier series, are a lot more restricted coming up. So we'll have to see. I saw Muffin Koei and Hook Resets just doing a beautiful defensive masterclass for RTF in that last match. So we'll have to see if they're able to use this teleporter to the best of its abilities. And, you know, we'll see if they're able to take it to Night Market for map 3.
Yeah, and EKC opting for red side here. It's that they usually seem to prefer red side, contrary to a lot of the teams who kind of just auto pilot the blue side. They really like that second and third pick, the R1 R2 combination. It feels like, but we're just waiting on them for the draft. We don't know what the starting awakenings are yet. They should come up in just a second here, and it appears that we're getting a rampage hotshot start on Gates.
Ooh.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, very much so. And I'm curious to see if we will see a Rune during this match. You know, Rune, a character that I feel like a lot of goalies didn't have in their back pocket, but all of a sudden, you know, we hop into season 5 of NASL, and it seems like everyone and their mother has a beautiful Rune that is able to just absolutely own.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because Rune goalie has been pretty missing, but Rune midfield has been very, very present in NASL so far. We've even seen it a lot in like the lower leagues and OSAS and all that as well. Rune midfield's popping off, so that has been really the pick of choice as of late. And I think in a few discussions, it has been rated pretty strongly, upper middle of the pack, I think. So I would not be surprised if we see the Rune, but given these collection of players, I don't quite predict it, because the players I expect Rune from are players like Katsuna, and Katsuna happens to be out.
That's true. Despite my calls in the first game accidentally, I apologize to the fool for that one. Katsuna is, believe it or not in the game. Maybe they're in spirit. I think I just, I still sense the aura through the screen.
Yeah, I gotta apologize because they just first picked Rune. My bad.
Cinema. Absolute cinema. I mean, this is beautiful. This is what we like to see. I mean, Rune, we'll have to see, you know, which character specifically this is actually going to go on. I mean, just based off that last game, surely it's Hook's Rune, right?
Yeah. 99.9% Hook resets Rune here. But heading on later into the draft, that Rasmus immediate pick, it looked really good for NXZD. And if it is indeed in that forward slot, which again, 99.9% it's for NXZD, that with Rampage is incredibly scary as a pick.
That's right. And, you know, just looking at the bans, we do see, of course, the Atlas and the Juno. Two characters who benefit tremendously from Hotshot. Of course, Juno able to get that red core off of basically a single blob in the early game. Just makes it so annoying to deal with, especially when you talk about the tech with the teleporters, you know, as we mentioned earlier on Obscura. Look away for 1 second, and there is a core coming at Mach speed through your teleporter. So definitely something, well, not to look out for now that character is banned away by EKC.
Yeah, and the later picks come in as well. Juliet and Asher picked up Asher goalie for Muffin, and Juliet brawler for Leo Leon. On the other end, they'll be against Luna and a Dubu. I'm assuming that Luna is Soren's trying to do a bit of a Katsuna impression while his midfielder is gone. And the Dubu is going to be great for the Fool. We've seen Zoro on Dubu many, many times. Very solid, very straightforward melee goalie pick, and that's what you want on Gates of Obscura.
Yeah, the log and, of course, the Tofu Fortress able to get work done. The Tofu Fortress, I have had very many negative experiences with that ability. But Of course, I'm no NASL player, so we'll have to see how it's piloted heading into map number 2. EKC does have the advantage, looking to close things out in yet another 2-0, bringing them to, I believe, 3-0 in the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, heading on to Gates of Obscura as the picks will be locked in the video game. Very, very excited to see the rune. I think he's in a pretty good spot, pretty exciting spot. And of course, the pick is very fun to watch after all. EKC is going to have to keep their hand on the evade key because banishing the members of EKC is definitely a big win condition for return to form in this game.
That's right. And we do see 2 players from EKC actually selecting Rampage. We will see Dubu goalie with Rampage instead of Hotshot. Of course, that size on Dubu is so important. And, you know, it wouldn't be an Obscura or a Hotshot game without a barrier being taken in 2 seconds of the match starting.
Yeah, a really, really explosive start here as the portal passes look to be very familiar for Soren. Just minding the pillars very well. Oh, wow, Soren. Another barrier take. I guess he loves Gates.
Yeah. Any Gates enjoyers in the chat, type 1. Sure, and we'll see. This is where hook resets is going to be scary, is in this corner. If Leon is able to sort of secure that bottom side, and hook resets is able to just press buttons on his keyboard, the offense will be immaculate. And, you know, speaking of which, NXCD also pretty good at doing that.
Yeah, the tough thing about that particular corner was that the portal was on that side. It means a very easy clear for the Fool, which transitions into offense very easily. But this bottom side, on the other hand, no portal to be found in that pocket, but it finds its way into the portal anyway. Another fantastic play by Soren as an own barrier, 2 own barriers by hook resets in a row. Not what they wanted here.
Oh man, hook resets is my favorite EKC player. As of right now, Leon is staggered. The Fool has the flip, and they're all kind of just standing there. I'm not really sure what happened there. That play just kind of knocked the whole lobby unconscious there.
Yeah, but as the play goes up again, Soren barely avoiding an own barrier here, but Leon. Oh, hook reset sniped out by the Tofu Fortress from the Fool as Leon tries to push forward a solo play. A primary used by Moffin on the defense as well as it's flipped into open space. But again, EKC seems so familiar with Gates, even though this is Return to Form's map pick.
That's right. I mean, they have the pressure right now. Wow, what a save from Soren. And no way the stuff, too. Oh my gosh, EKC is on fire right now.
Absolutely. Getting on in with the plays, capitalizing on every mistake, as it's not any like massive errors from Return to Form, right? Just 1 or 2 missteps that just cascade as EKC capitalizes, finds the passes, finds the conversions, and a lot of it is also the core speed from Soren. NXT looking for a double barrier, 2 barriers taken in an instant with the flip, and now an aggressive spot as well. The portal passes are constant. The Tofu Fortress almost kills hook resets, but the Fool might have overextended a little bit as both barriers go down.
Yeah, rightfully so. Still want to have a little bit of fun in this match as the Fool is often past the midfield line, crossing that yeesh line, as we know. Moff & Co. looking for this pass up, trying to find it. Leo does have the core flip, so surely we see a goal. Of course we do. A bread and butter core flip. Leon able to get 1, and we'll have to see if they're able to do yet another reverse sweep in this first set here, or if EKC will be closing this one out, getting that priority in the draft.
It's a little bit scary for Return to Form, though. That point was off the back of a massive overextension by the Fool, and I don't think they'll do that again this set. And NXCD and Soren have been a very solid 1-2 combination with all the core speed on the Luna. It's going to be a massive threat here, but an own barrier, its own barrier city. It's been a while since people have played Gates of Obscura, it seems, but a KO found onto the Juliet does mean that there's a power play for EKC for a little while longer.
Yeah, and I love that positioning on that secondary by hook resets, able to come back to defense when needed. Although, if NXCD and Soren are there, I think it's going to be needed a lot more often. The Fool pushing up yet again. Moff & Co. just has to tank the crater. Loses 60% of their health immediately, and hook resets just trying to get this past NXCD. The Fool is able to keep so much pressure with these clears, as now Return to Form is just tanking this damage. Leo on such low HP. The back pass as a double banish coming out will be good. The double barrier, and Moffin barely able to save that one. core flip not quite finding its mark just yet, as the Fool has their flip. Off the corner, the pass through the teleporter with the positioning from the crater. This is just gorgeous out of EKC.
Yeah, they look to be in control. The barrier pressure just seems to not be there for return to form when the core speed's being used so well by EKC, especially Soren, who is keeping the core up. The core control Luna, in a sense. The damage is just a side effect for him this game, and picking up the missile prop to get a little bit more core speed and a lot more damage here. But that fighter flight on Katsuna might turn this game a little bit around. The additional speed in the midfield, Rune, a relatively immobile character, but picking that up might mean a little bit more presence as Leo Leon, a Dash Juliet enjoyer. This could be a big difference maker for return to form.
Oh, of course. I mean, that explosive entrance just means it's one more thing to think about for the goalie, right? You're so used to a Juliet with a regular dash range. You probably play and scrim so many. And then all of a sudden, this character just dashes like twice as far. Or, you know, specifically 70% as far.
Well, specifically 170%. Anyway, Leo Leon getting in the corner, finding the strike afterwards too. 2 barriers taken. That's the Leo Leon we expected, and that's the Leo Leon return to form wanted to see. But Moffin, that timeless creator actually becoming a bit of a negative as it stops the corner the wrong way, but 2 barriers still kept up. Still a good spot for return to form, but the Fool finds the clear away, and once again it returns to Leo Leon, setting up for a dash but barely missing it. And once again they have to worry about Soren, but Leo Leon hit stun the Fool right in the face, but has the log cooldown available, and a rocket snipe with the missile prop from Soren means another power play for EKC.
Soren, the American sniper, finds one there, and now the barriers start to fall for return to form. There's one, but the flip wasted away to stall time. Soren yet again finding these beautiful shots into the barriers. Now the Fool just has to defend. Oh, almost getting through there. A last second strike from the Fool. This hook resets, trying to get it. The flip blocked away by Moffin Koei. There's great defense from return to form right now, but NXZD with the self pass into secure is just too much to handle for a goalie like Asher.
Yeah, impressed by Soren's play in the midfield there as well. The rocket stall mixing up the entire defensive play by return to form, really. And it's just overwhelming because NXCD is being allowed to play his game, and when NXCD is allowed to play his game, he is a massive Rasmus here. So that scoring pressure is immense. Very easy to score on the open net against an immobile Asher. But speaking of scoring, that's 2 barriers down. Return to form, an explosive start to this point.
Yeah, that's huge, and that's the explosive entrance you were talking about earlier. Able to just secure barriers if timed correctly. I love the team play from this. We see the passing, the Fool able to save it. Just stalling all this time. Precious time for Soren to come back up, and Leo Leon somehow finds the pixel angle through the top corner of the Tofu Fortress. Not quite finding its mark. A nice little comedic relief to that one as the Fool is punished and lives up to the name.
Threading the needle and barely kicking the massive Dubu into the net. The banish found. The evade is good from the Fool, but it's still Leo Leon setting up in the corner. Amazing follow-up on the Rune. Dash punching the Fool again. That's the downside of size, pauldrons, and rampage, but it just means you're a bigger target. But an amazing flip out, an amazing clear away as one barrier goes down on the other side, and NXZD still maintaining core control. This point is still very winnable for EKC.
This point is still live. And it is still winnable. NXZD looking for something. Goes to the teleporter. So much pressure. And there's the explosive entrance from Leo Leon, securing one in the top corner yet again. There is so much to unpack from that last point. And I love the play from return to form. I mean, we saw hook resets even using those unstable anomalies to block Soren's dash, which surely would have led to a double barrier. As Moffin Koei was pushed a little bit too far up. There's so much micro going on in this game, but yet it still looks so chaotic.
Trying to play on the bottom corner here, the portal-less side as the pillars are placed down, but Leo Leon's taking so much damage, comboed with the Tofu Fortress into the pendulum swing. Such efficient offense from the side of Air's Kitten Club, making sure to get these KOs, making sure to layer the offense again. A good flip will take it out of there, but that's a big resource burn from Moffin, who is taking damage as well. And return to form, they cannot get their offense going.
They sure can, but their defense is looking pretty solid right now. NXDD stuck in this corner. The dash punch almost connects. Both players opting to go through the teleporter. And the first barrier will fall 50 seconds into this round, as there's so much stuffing potential. Kowi trying to save this. NXED does have the core flip. Finally opts to use it, but blocked away by the Juliet. The dash punch almost connects from the midfield. The Fool overextends a little bit to try to kill Leo Leon. We'll see the passes back and forth. Things are scary for EKC right now. 7 seconds up on this respawn. The pass back and forth. Not quite able to find it. Leo Leon secures it yet again. Explosive entrance on this dash will mean 3 goals credited to Leo during this set.
Well-deserved MVP here. We'll see if he can pick up something massive. And so many explosive awakenings appear in the draft. Catalyst Egoist, 1-2 Punch, and Knife's Edge, all incredible power picks, but the spark scaling as well, a possibility Knife's Edge opted for here. But these energy awakenings are going to fall down as well. Team player going to be what's attempted by Return to Form to try and bring this game under control in the midfield, as the last pick, Soren, has to quote-unquote settle on Prize Fighter. Some incredible awakenings for every single player in this draft, and we'll see if Moffin's Primetime can be the difference maker in terms of saves. Primetime Hotshot means a lot of primary uptime and a lot of not having to interact with NXED by just pressing the primary.
That's right. I mean, I think everyone comes away happy from this, and once again, Leo finding the needle on that Tofu Fortress. A picky eater here. As now hook resets, taking so much damage, trying to survive, and we'll see if the Fool overextends yet again, but seems like there's not too much pressure. Leo Leon, though, does find the pressure, almost using the teleport off that proc from the slick kicks, or whatever that was. I guess just the Knife's Edge. As now Leo in this corner where you want to be, the crater not quite helping out. NXTD does take the teleporter though, but there's too many players. The core goes back through, and the Fool is not there to handle it. The gates of Obscura are proving for a very interesting match right now.
Again, Leo Leon's making incredible use of this Knife's Edge, ducking, weaving, dancing out of the portals, and finding these dash punches with the additional power as well. An amazing awakening pickup is really defining the offense of Return to Form right now, as Moffin, that earlier timeless creator deny from the Dubu, is proving to be very effective on the defense as well. The passive shield after the primary has saved the goal so many times because of how long it lingers compared to normal.
That's right, and that's really what this Asher needs, and a beautiful save from the Fool somehow, some way keeps this goal barrier alive, as finally one drops for the side of Return to Form, and Leo from downtown looking for that one. A little too ambitious, but that's what you need against a team like EKC.
A lot of corner plays here, looking for a bounce on the bottom side as Leo Leon looks for a punch, but it's cleared away very well by EKC. Another banish found. But these banishes are more to interrupt any sort of defenses. An aggressive flip by the Fool goes wide. An offensive attempt, but not quite enough. That dash barely misses the corner. That could have been a barrier taken. Instead, it's a barrier staying up just barely again for Moffin. Return to Form should be very happy with this one as they stop the flip as well. And this barrier still stands.
This barrier is magnetic, but it's the wrong polarity as that one gets it. NXED finds the pendulum swing off the gate. Able to get that through as it opens up. And beautiful from them, 1-1. This game could not be more even. I feel like last set, Leo Leon was absolutely popping off. And although we're only 2 points in fairly quickly, the defense from both sides seems to have just leveled up immensely.
Oh, the Tofu Fortress. You mentioned it before the game. It does fail you sometimes, and right there is exactly when it failed the Fool. Not forming properly, taken out, the massive Dubu eliminated, and with that, a quick goal for Return to Form as they go 2-1. This might be a little bit concerning for some real-life events because apparently Soren's college and the college that K-Bot coaches in have a LAN right now, and Soren is holding them up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's always a problem. I was trying not to laugh after that last point. That was absolutely ridiculous. And the caster curse is 100% real. As soon as I say the defense is beautiful, the Tofu Fortress giveth and the Tofu Fortress taketh away. Because now Leo Leon fishing for something. A good banish will render NXED useless for a little bit. We know those abilities are back up now. And the core going through once again. We might need to see something like aerials coming through for the Fool. As Muffin in this corner. The flip from Soren right through. The shield's not doing a great job as Muffin Koei has to watch as the Gore just flies right by. And once again, 2-2 in this set. I mean, both these teams seem incredibly evenly matched.
Yeah, well timed as well to make sure the passive barrier linger didn't mess them up there. That's messed them up a few times earlier, but they're now really aware of the timeless creator on Muffin. A good dash buffer by Leo through hit stun, tried to find the second strike, but not quite enough. But the offense continues the passing play, so close to finding the barrier take, but NXZD has to flip on the other side as Hook Resets and Leo Leon and Muffin all are completely out of energy, incredibly vulnerable here as EKC need to capitalize right now.
That's right, and a good Tofu Fortress this time will be good for EKC. But this corner is not where you want to be, especially not against the Rune and an explosive entrance Juliet. NXCD trying to punch it through all three people. Looking for something with that pendulum swing. And a gorgeous clear from the Fool on the nice edge of that barrier there. Avoids the banish and a nice summer assault there to keep that core in the corner. Leo Leon taking a lot of damage with not a lot of energy, but does manage to pick up that orb from the Fool. Stay alive for a little bit longer.
Dash punch in. Leo Leon finds the barrier. So much core speed available. If Leo Leon gets the core one more time, that could be a goal. That could be return to form going up. But Muffin misses the dash. Big opportunity for EKC now. A passing play through the portal. NXZD in position, but the strike shot reads it perfectly. Now a slow play from Leo Leon and Hook Resets trying to set up a passing play as the dash punch goes wide. They miss time a little bit as NXZD goes to the bottom corner. The core speed in, but the Rune Pillar knocks out the Luna. The banish evaded from. It could have been a 1v3, but NXZD is still there to help out, but the Fool's in a tough spot.
That's right. NXZD, though, has the potential, has the abilities, and somehow robs this point back from Muffin Koei and from return to form. That ability is so good as an absolute banger in the corner. NXZD gets the MVP and will get first draft. And there's some pretty good awakenings on the board.
Yeah, and looking later into this draft, the bottom three members being there is a little bit concerning, right? You would like a lot more power on the Fool specifically, I think, but a lot of the speed that would otherwise be liked is being taken away. The stacks on stacks taken away, the twin drive utility taken away, and with perfect form and twin drive being the picks for the brawler and the goalie return to form, I think return to form are feeling pretty happy, but there's one small issue, right? It's NXZD with the stacks on stacks looking massive and looking speedy. That guy is just going to take over the game.
That's right, and we saw it in game number 1. We might be looking for a repeat here if EKC has anything to say about it. NXCD in this corner once again. The Tofu Fortress used offensively this time. Not quite as good as the Rune Pillar in this scenario, but a good defense from return to form keeps things alive. And look at this, Leo Leon taken off the map, I believe, by the rocket coming out from Soren. Those hit very hard, and now has prize fighter stacks for the rest of the set, given that they can stay alive.
Yeah, they will need to stay alive, but I think the damage pressure hasn't quite been there, right? I don't think NXZD has died at all. If once, I don't know, but I don't think NXZD's died at all this game. Not really a damage pressure situation here. It means that those stacks are so valuable, but an amazing defensive play. But the pillar is a bit of an obstacle, actually, as Soren comes in. Oh, no. Amazing defense from Muffin Koei and Hook Resets, but the pillar just bites them in the back a little bit.
That's right. The unstable anomaly not quite working out in the defensive favor this time. It is the problem with creations, as they're not always meant for your team. So we see Soren flying in now, stuck in this corner. Resets, taking a bit of damage. Leo Leon trying to get past that Tofu Fortress. There's so many Dubu abilities to work, try to get through. Muffin does have the flip. Leo Leon narrowly avoids death yet again. Soren is an absolute menace, as we've seen throughout this series, finding so many KOs with that missile. And there's one barrier falls. The flip coming out through the portal, complemented by Hook Reset's flip as well. The Fool is looking like an iron wall right now. We'll have to see if that Tofu Fortress is able to get the job done. And a beautiful unstable anomaly from Hook Reset somehow, some way, keeps Return to Form's barrier alive.
Muffin with the barrier beam keeps the barrier alive. Perfect timing, gets it in horizontal angle there and somehow saves it there as well, but Soren hangs on. The dash punch not quite enough as NXZD is accelerating as well. Core goes through both portals as Hook resets, looks for a passing play into Leo Leon, but the Core is just going around and around both portals. The factor here as once again NXZD gets possession. Soren goes in and the layered strikes find the barrier, but Soren has been eliminated. This power play is huge, but NXZD is the biggest thing on the screen right now, looking more massive than the Dubu in some cases, and with those stacks stacked up, it's such a threat. The pillar not even taking a single barrier as Soren comes in, but the pillar hitting it backwards. Now they're in a lot of trouble because NXZD is dribbling all over the map and finds the opening between them. EKC 1 goal away.
NXZD, the pinball wizard, able to somehow find the gap between Muffin and Leo in the net. And yet another beautiful find from this Rasmus. You know, you mentioned before NXZD known for this Juliet. But still, I mean, look at this performance on this Rasmus. It is absolutely ridiculous. The Fool pushed all the way up and Leo Leon taken off the map. Fool now wants to turn in the offense. The counter flip coming through from NXZD, who's now on low HP. But like you mentioned, there's no damage pressure. The only threat is simply the core speed coming out from the hot shot and NXZD, and yet another scenario. Beautiful primary from Moff and Koei to keep this alive. The defense from them has been so great the whole game, but this is the last point. This is what EKC needs to close out this series. You do not want to give Return to Form a chance to come back, in a beautiful dash punch. Fine, but a Summer Assault to trade it back. A 2 versus 2. And NXZD is not the player you want to take this against.
Hook resets though in the bottom corner, maybe finding a bit of an opportunity here, but the Banish can't catch up in time. The goalie KO'd by Soren, who dashes off the respawn. So much open space in the net. They save it once and save it twice. Leo Leon gets in there somehow, but the barrier still stands. No lucky goals to be found. Another passing play. NXZD accelerating the core, and EKC finally managed to secure it.
And that's all she wrote. EKC will remain undefeated so far in the NASL Season 5, of course, going up 3-0 off of that game. An incredible performance from both teams. And I mean, Moff and Koei, absolutely insane stats, 86 saves, and almost all of them were pixel perfect.
Yeah, incredible defensive plays by Return to Form, but their offense wasn't quite there, right? They couldn't get past the Fool consistently enough, especially when the core control from NXZD came in. And NXZD played that one so incredibly well. And Soren, that guy might have been goofing around most of that game, but when he was clutch, he had exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's snowing beautifully today when you see Awayuki on the screen, right? Absolutely monstrous performance. Those missiles and rockets taking so many KOs. I mean, we saw the prize fighter putting in work, just absolute massive damage in the craters for the perfect positioning, able to put NXZD in that right spot to secure it. So, you know, after those 2 matches, I'm not surprised EKC is looking dominant and definitely a force to look for as we move through to Season 5.
Our next match is going to be an interesting one, right? Showtime versus Bun Bun Bonanza, 2 of the most solid teams in the league, 2 high placers over the last 2 seasons. And any big thoughts on that matchup before we go to a break?
I am very excited for this matchup. Of course, 2 teams near and dear to my heart, just because I'm a huge fan of NASL. I love watching these players. I love watching these goalies. And, you know, excited to hop into this break so we can get into this match sooner. When we return, Showtime versus Bun Bun Bonanza. Don't go anywhere.